Kristen, chill the out. It's the Kristen Chill Out podcast.
You're like Clark Kent. You're like, the glasses aren't going to hide you from being Superman.
That's true. I mean, I look like an asshole either way. I look like a bitch either way. And so this is what I was saying the other day on stage. I said, I said, this is because I look so mean. But I'm so nice. And this is how I understand the transgender
You are
thing.
so nice.
Right. I was born in the wrong body. I should be born in a nice person's body. Like, I want to transition into a nice person's body.
You want to be an ugly person?
Well, no, I want to be like pretty likable. I'm like, I don't think I'm pretty, but I'm like mean pretty if I'm pretty at all. And so it makes me uncomfortable.
You are pretty. Can you not just give yourself a fucking compliment, Kristen? Is it so hard? You got to give it a, we talk, if we're getting into mental health, every time I talk to you, it's always like, I'm like good, but also bad.
Well,
like,
yeah.
This is positive, but also
the
just a little negative.
Right. It never stops.
No.
I've been like that since I was 3. But
that's why you can't chill.
But before, like 3 years ago, I wasn't as crazy as I am now. Now it's like, oh my God, I see the time ticking and I am fucking everything up and I can't. And so I'm on this.
And what was 3 years ago? Was your breakup?
No, my mom died.
Your mom died. I'm sorry again.
3.5 years ago.
3.5.
Yeah.
I thought it was longer, no?
Mm-mm. It feels so weird, like yesterday, and also feels like I haven't seen my mom in 10 years. It's really
Sure.
But anyway, this is not about me, unfortunately.
No, it's about us.
It is about us.
We're a team.
There's a song that goes, "That's about us." Do you know the song?
No, but that could be the theme song of the podcast.
Yeah, it could. That would be cute. I mean, if I had a co-host, but my co-host killed herself. And like everything in life, it just seems like everything just gets fucked up. I'm doing a podcast, I'm enjoying it. Co-host kills herself. I'm in a relationship, I'm enjoying it. Guy goes kind of crazy. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Did you know my ex-boyfriend was married?
Boyfriend was married recently?
No, like a 5-year ago boyfriend. Did you know about that?
No.
Okay. So I realized about 9 months in, but that's the thing. Why did I have to even be in that situation to begin with? Couldn't I just be in a relationship and the guy is like a good guy who's not married? Like, what? I didn't know that actually happened in real life.
Do you think you're self-sabotaging?
No. I mean, maybe I am based on the guys that I choose, but I choose guys that are charismatic, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, you like a bad boy. Yeah, I was describing this to somebody. I feel I define myself as a good guy, but a bad boy.
Yeah, you have that vibe.
But you will go. You don't care about the good guy or bad guy. You care about the bad boy. As long as the bad boy is there, he could be a good guy or he could be a bad guy.
No, well, I like someone with a huge heart, not like an enlarged heart where they're going to die.
Yeah.
But a huge heart. Like someone really, really warm and kind and deep down is a good soul.
Like a
but
guy that's
isn't afraid to
married.
say what the fuck is going on. They're not afraid to say the truth. But all these people who are like kind of no bullshit people, but with decent hearts, don't really, I mean, their hearts seem decent, but they don't really have. I don't know. I don't really know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
basically, I don't want an actual asshole. I want someone who can talk shit. Like, we could bust each other's balls and he doesn't take shit. Maybe
and someone
he slips
that is not married.
And someone who's not married, ideally.
Or a psychopath.
Right. So, like, my friend kills herself. Then I find out my boyfriend's married. Then my mom dies. Then I mean, it's just like one thing. So when you meet me, in this stage, you never knew me when shit went right in my life. So
I guess not.
I'm a different version.
When I met you, it was very evident you're a tornado. You're sort of a tornado constantly.
But
you could just when I'm outside, she was here and she was like, "Is my makeup okay? Is everything all right? Where is it? Is it here?"
I'm neurotic.
I'm like,
neurotic.
I thought I thought this was you knew what this place was.
Yeah.
You're like, I think it's in this building. It might be in this one.
No, I know where it is,
And I love that about you, but I part of me thinks that was always there. I think maybe you're a little bit more maybe sad at times, or maybe a little more nervous, but I feel like you've always been kind of neurotic.
Oh, yeah. I've always
at least
been
I'd like to
neurotic.
think in my heart.
Yes, I would too, because I'm actually
that's what
glad
makes you
that
funny
you said
too.
in your heart. Yeah, because I feel like that is kind of what makes me me, but I'm not putting it on at all. Like that's
I know that. No, this is not an act.
No.
You're crazy. You're a crazy person.
Right, but
in a good way. You could be. That's. I guess if we're talking about mental health, I think you could be crazy and still be pretty cool. You know what I mean?
But
like just
what
because
kind
someone
of
is
crazy?
like,
because I'm very normal. That's the thing. Is like I'm so normal that I'm crazy. I'm so normal that it's made me crazy. Do you
you're
get
so
what I mean?
normal that it's made you. No, I think you're obsessed with trying to be normal.
No.
You don't think so?
No, really. I'm so normal. If you could see me in my,
Well, what is normal? That's the baseline of that is sort of
I know there's
ambiguous, right?
like I'm a good person. I'm not crazy. I do good deeds. I
do good
I
deeds.
do. I always am doing a good deed, and I never post about it. And that's the thing. It's like, did it even really happen if you didn't post about it?
You're like Steven Seagal.
Why? What did he do?
Steven Seagal, I guess, apparently would like go help out at like Hurricane Katrina, or he was like a cop for years and didn't tell anybody about it.
Oh,
I mean,
he
he's
did?
like a douchebag.
Yeah,
but that
of
was like his
course.
whole thing. He's like, I didn't tell anybody.
That's the thing is, you do eventually tell people like this, or like he did.
Yeah, on,
We'll
on a
hold
public platform,
We'll hold it for a
like
really
a
long
podcast.
time. I didn't tell him, and then I actually did tell him. So anyway, but I don't point out every single good deed. But this is where people on the internet drive me crazy. And I'm going to let you talk. And I feel like people listening to the show are going to be like, you have guests on for a reason. The show is not about you, Kristen.
No, it is about you. I like this. I like that you have guests on and then you won't let them talk ever.
It's kind
I
of like
think that's
the
a good
shtick.
theme.
Right,
yeah.
Come interview me. Like,
You
but-
should. The guests should be more and more important people. You
Right,
should
that
have like
talk
Matt
less
Damon
and
on and
less.
just not let him say
Yeah,
one word.
it's
That'd
actually
be
a
cool.
really good idea.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel would be in on that too because they have that little rivalry.
Anybody. You could have
rivalry.
Obama on and you just be like, so anyway, how I feel,
Yeah.
like originally how it happened. And
Right.
sometimes I feel like I'm normal.
But do you know that Jimmy Kimmel has an actual thing with Matt Damon where they pretend they hate each other? They've been
Yeah,
like
I've seen
fake
that.
enemies. Okay.
I don't care for Jimmy Kimmel.
Me neither. So that's what I was going to get into, which is the social justice thing. So people posting online generally about social justice and all that kind of stuff, those people generally, I think, are hiding something because I know I'm a good person, so I don't have to post about it. And people posting about it, it's like a dude with a small dick getting a Corvette. It's overcompensation
Oh, so you're saying the people that are on social media
online.
and they post like the black square for Black Lives Matter
They're involved
or
in
a rainbow for Pride or something, you
Yeah.
think those are even more horrible people because they're trying to overcompensate?
I don't know if they're more horrible, but I think they're trying to hide that they don't feel like they're actually good or that they have some sort of insecurity about what kind of person they are, so they need to put it out there. Look at me, I'm good. It's the same. It's like I say I'm smart. I'll say I'm smart because I'm not smart.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an insecurity thing. So when people judge other people for not having that kind of stuff up, I think they're completely off.
No, yeah, I think it comes from a place of like not truly knowing your own identity.
Yeah.
I think they're being hyperly aware and insecure about people's perception of them. So I really don't think they care about the cause whatsoever.
No.
I think it's more like they're like, oh, I need to post this black square because if I don't,
Yeah.
then everybody's gonna think I'm racist.
Yeah.
When really nobody gives a shit. I couldn't remember who out of my friends list posted a black square and who didn't when all that stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And but I think in their minds they're like, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna show that I'm relevant.
Yeah. But it's also if I don't, people are going to think I'm bad, so I have to join in.
There's some of that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I posted it for a little while, that I took it down. It's like, this is not me. I don't go along. It could be the best cause in the world. I don't go along with bandwagons generally.
No,
At all.
I'm not a big.
Not even generally. I don't go along with bandwagons.
I mean, I'm not in tuned with any sort of thing. Like when
That's
like
what I like about you.
yeah, I
Because
kind of
you're your own person.
yeah, I'm omniscient from all causes. Because like you said,
Yeah.
I'm dumb. I don't want to know anything about anything. It's just like I've tried a few times to like have an opinion on stage about something that's like current events.
Well, you're too good looking.
And I don't know about that, but I feel
Well,
like
yes. You're like, well, yeah. I know.
well, it's more so I come off a little douchey.
It's true.
But also I'm like I realize halfway through writing it of like, well, I also don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Same.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine recently about some political stuff, and she was like, you should do a political podcast. And she is so
You should be a
politically
satirist.
illiterate that I sound smart to her. But if you put me up against somebody else who's studied in this,
Yeah,
I
but the
could
people who-
not compete whatsoever. So I can't say the things that I want to say because I know I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, and the people who listen to those kind of things just want to hear what they want to hear. I mean, my parents
Yeah,
watch
right.
Fox all the time, and it's just like they just want to be like, "Yep,"
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
everything is confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Like when I ask you, like, am I wearing too much makeup? I'm looking for confirmation that I'm not right. I'm
Right.
not, because that's
do
how I
do that.
feel in my mind. So I need,
Yeah, no matter what I say, you're going to be fine.
right.
No matter what I say, you're going to be upset about the thing that you were already upset
Well, I'll
about.
think you're lying or like not, or just saying that to be nice.
You literally, when I first saw you today, you were like, "Do you think I have too much makeup?" And I was like, "No." And you're like, "Yeah, I do. I do."
I do. Well, in daylight I do. But the thing is I do.
No, you look hot. Look at the screen. You look good.
I'm not sitting in a flattering angle. I'm going to see this later and be like, God damn it.
Well, you were kind of flashing me a little bit, but I couldn't see with the table.
Flash. I have nothing to flash.
What do you mean? No, I'm saying like with your legs.
Oh, that's the thing. I forget when I never wear skirts. Well, I'm starting to wear skirts. I never wore skirts, and now I'm
Should we intro the
embracing
podcast?
yeah. Oh, by the way, this is a Kristen Chill podcast. If you couldn't tell,
Kristen,
I'm
chill.
a little high strung.
Unable to chill.
But what's crazy is I sleep all the time. So I mean, maybe that's why I come across so wired, because
You have too much energy.
I have too much sleep. Not even energy. I just have too much sleep and isolation. And so it's like a dog getting taken outside the park, and their owner's been at work all day. They're like,
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean?
You think you're like a, so you think you think you sleep too much, and that's why you're overcompensating for the. You have so much energy, you're just like you can't
it's not
control
even,
it.
But it's not even energy. I feel tired all the time. It's anxiousness. So that's what I said. I don't know before we started taping when we were outside.
Yeah.
I said I don't know the difference between essentially being anxious and having energy. I don't know the difference, because if I have energy, I'm anxious. If I'm not anxious, I'm tired.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, say it again.
Okay. So if I have energy,
Yes.
I will always be anxious in that, like, if I'm
Yes,
energized,
I get that.
there's anxiety always with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it feels like to have energy without anxiety attached to it.
Wow, that's sad.
So, but I genuinely don't. I think I do when I'm
you're like you just made
I
you just
know.
clearly made a definitive statement,
because-
and then you're like, no, but I do though.
Yeah, I know.
And then negate it immediately.
I know.
That's your life.
Because I think back to certain times, like if I'm in a relationship, I'm way more calm, but I don't necessarily have energy, but I'm just normal. So so maybe I do know what it feels like to have energy, but not being anxious.
Are you following
I
this,
don't,
Jorge?
I don't know. Jorge, it's like 5 minutes of this for him is 5 hours.
Should we
I don't know why anyone
reset?
listens.
What are we talking about?
I don't
I
know.
feel like we're in a swound here.
Well, I just feel like
You feel bad for Jorge? Jorge's in the booth. I like shouting out to the booth.
I feel bad for
I
anyone
love
who
Kristen.
encounters
She's
me.
one of my favorite people to record.
Really?
Yeah, she makes me feel more sane. I wish I was her friend.
Oh,
Wait, what did
thank
you
for
say?
the
I
insult,
missed that.
for the backhanded compliment.
What did you say?
It makes him feel more sane.
Yeah.
Luca wasn't wearing such.
Oh yeah, no, I feel the same way. When I met her, I'm like, oh, she makes me feel good because she's like I thought I had anxiety. I thought I was freaking out, and you're always freaking out.
Always.
I guess I should keep these headphones on. This feels better.
Doesn't it feel more official when you have the?
It feels official, and I can follow your loony train of thought just a little bit quicker.
Yeah. It's hard to follow.
You are hard to follow, Kristen. I mean, sometimes I love hanging out with you. I miss seeing you pretty frequently. But,
Yeah, I know. I miss you too. I know you said you missed me.
Yeah, I know you're great.
Yeah,
you're great because probably maybe partially for what Jorge said, but also, you are energy, and I think energy probably, I'm sure there's some sort of Buddhist Dalai Lama shit, but like I think any form of energy is at its inherent, like it's good to be around. It's good to be around energy, whether it be actually no. Because negative energy is bad, but I don't think you're negative. I think you're just a lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
and that's fun to be around.
Energy is crazy, and I'm gonna get like I hate the term woo woo.
What is woo woo?
Woo is like kind of spiritual-y stuff, like
Okay.
talking about energy and vibration.
What is that? Is that some sort of jive?
Jive. What are you like from like 1950?
What is woo woo?
Woo woo. You said that so Italian.
Is that slang?
What is woo woo? Woo woo. It's like.
Or is that like an Easter? Is that like a Japanese word? The woo woo?
I don't know the
Or is it like-
etymology of.
Or is it like
Woo-woo.
white girl? Like when white girls are really into crystals?
I think it's that.
someone
Yeah,
TikTok
no, it's
slanged
that.
it.
It's that.
Woo woo.
Talking about astrology and that kind of stuff.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So I'm not into astrology, things like that. I am into energy, like people's energies. When I first went to therapy, I was 26,
Yes.
It's the first time I ever went to therapy. Well, I actually went once in college, and it was free, but it was terrible, and it was like a 30-minute assessment. Anyway, so I'm not trying to flash you.
No, it's fine. I like it.
I said to my therapist, because I was feeling like I was repelling people,
Mm-hmm.
but I was actually very quiet. I wasn't talking to many people because I didn't feel confident enough to talk to them.
When you were 26, you
This
felt
was
like you were repelling?
Yes. And the thing is, like I said at the beginning, I'm a good person. Like I said, I'm not the type to advertise, but I
Yeah.
am. So I said to my therapist, I said, it's just so frustrating because I'm a good person, but people are responding to me like I'm not a good person, or like I'm not likable, or I'm mean. And so she kind of had to reveal herself. She's like, well, on the side, I kind of moonlight as a nut job and works in energy and healing and Reiki.
Who-
and
the-
all that
the
stuff. My
therapist
therapist,
does?
yeah, and I didn't know that. So
She said it like that?
no, I'm kidding.
Oh.
She just said, well, there is, energy, and I do this outside of therapy, blah blah blah. She said it in a respectable way.
I don't like that.
Like
I
a
don't
real,
like
like a real person. Not
that's
like
like
me.
that's like you get into therapy and then you get like a side hustle that like is sort of like a charlatan, like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, because you can't be like, oh, this is how you improve your mental health, but also I can sell you some crystals on the side that's
Yeah.
gonna help you.
Right. Well, it's like being a
that
marriage
kind of
counselor.
negates. It's like, then just give me the crystals if the crystals is the thing I'm missing.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk it out, and
Right.
I need quartz.
Right. You're not telling me about the secret sauce you got going on over here. It's like you got to let me in on that.
Yeah, I was having this discussion the other day. I mean, I think you've seen me do the bit on. I think therapy is great. I think if you're in therapy, God bless you.
I hate it.
But there is a like
But
there is some skepticism that I think more people should go into it with.
Oh, absolutely.
Of like, why am I going here for this? And is this person right for me? Like, I mean, we have therapy is a luxury. We have the luxury to pay someone to listen to us gripe about our problems that in reality, in like the grand scheme of survival, are not that big of a deal.
No.
Like if you like a therapist, like that's why I question. Obviously it's a doctorate and you are a doctor, but like if a
Therapist doesn't have to be a doctor.
no,
I don't know what they have, or you can get like a PsyD, which isn't totally doctorate. I don't know. I could be wrong. But
yeah,
I
but
don't-
like an
they can't
MD,
write medication.
like an MD
prescriptions.
can go to, because some therapists prescribe medication. You have to be a doctor.
Psychiatrists prescribe
Okay,
medication.
okay.
Like a therapist would say, "I'll refer you to a psychiatrist to get you medication."
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
See how smart I am.
You are smart.
Yes.
This is. I should have.
I
I
gotta
should.
advertise it.
I should know what I'm talking about before I make it.
You
but
should.
but I do think if like an MD doctor goes to Haiti, they could help. Like immediately they could help. A therapist couldn't go to Haiti and be
Yeah.
like, hey, like how does not
does-
eating make you feel?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fucking hungry bitch.
It is a luxury. So but I do think it's like therapists like the one you just described, like the idea of like, hey, like we're gonna talk and you're gonna pay me for that. And also if you want like Reiki energy, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, she wasn't selling it. She wasn't pushing me to buy her. So she doesn't.
But
do
she
it
says
like-
she does it.
She does it, but like I think it was more in a hobby way. Like
Oh,
she goes
okay.
to groups and she's very into it, but she doesn't.
I think there's something to be said about
So-
that stuff too. Like I don't not believe in that.
Well,
I just think when you have a therapist, it should be like, do I get along with this person? Is this person like, is this person just caring because I'm paying them, or do you think this person is really involved in their career and,
Yeah.
and my mental health?
yeah, I think I've done a good job at selecting people, even though I don't really want to select because that means more work, and I am pretty lazy. So it's like, it took me a really long time to just get one therapist to return my call. I'm not gonna say no to this person now.
Do you feel like though, like they only give a shit because you're paying them? That would be my anxiety.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
I work as a dating coach for guys.
yeah.
I care about my clients. Like I do. It's exciting for me when they do well, which is all the time, by the
Because
way,
you're a
because
good
I'm
person.
really good.
Yeah.
But if it was just a guy in the street, I'm not going like, oh, I care so much about your feelings.
Yeah, but you're like
Or your dating
helping.
life.
You're helping like, potential incels eventually get laid, right? And this person's making sure this person doesn't kill themselves.
Yeah, I mean, do you know how many lives I'm saving
I
by
think
giving these guys dating
you know what?
skills?
I'd make the argument. I bet you're probably saving just as many lives as a therapist because
Yeah.
if they get pussy,
Yeah, they're not an
They're-
incel
they-
anymore. They
then-
don't want
yeah.
to kill women, and
they're not depressed.
yeah. See, my whole life is philanthropy. Really, it's just disguised as the most narcissistic
You're a good person. I've recently categorized myself. I've been trying to throw this around as my catchphrase. I find myself as a good guy, but a bad boy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas there was a former time in my life where I was bad guy, bad boy.
Really?
And that's too much bad.
I can't see that on you
Well, I know.
or in you.
Yeah, I've changed. I've grown.
You don't have to reveal, but what's something bad about you? Were you mean to people?
Yeah,
in school?
I obviously stopped drinking for a reason, but I felt like
Oh yes, I forgot.
but I felt like I would have relationships with people that I didn't necessarily have a lot of stake in, and I feel like I would put my priorities were askew, and I think that's kind of what defines one aspect that defines a good person is like where do their priorities lie. So it would be like all over the place. Like I would abandon my friends at a bar in pursuit of whatever else, or I would not, I'd be neglectful with spending time with my family to go do a different, it's just like,
Wow.
you know what I mean? And
You are a terrible person. No, that's not that bad. But
it's not that bad, but
you're young.
yeah, you're young and like,
Also
decision making is definitely a factor in whether or not you're a good or bad person. So I'd be making stupid decisions
Yeah.
that, knock on wood, never really like ended up being anything major, but like with the just quarter inch of a turn could have been, life ruining.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you punch a guy at a bar or you don't use a condom, and it just happens to be at the wrong time, you can like potentially really injure someone into a lawsuit or kill somebody even, drive your car drunk.
I wonder
Now
if
you have a
could give
kid that
someone a
you're not gonna be
lawsuit
there.
for pregnancy.
No, not a lawsuit, but I would have a kid that would probably end up fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
I had a kid when I was 22 and hammered all the time,
Yeah.
my
No.
my dad did that when he was younger, and he figured it out. But still, it's like, that I couldn't imagine myself in that situation.
I'm kind of mad at myself for not getting knocked up when I was younger because it would make how I'm doing now look like a really big achievement.
You think so?
Yeah, like she had a kid at 17. Now she's got a podcast. It's like, wow, good for her. Look at all she's doing.
That's cool. That's cool that you want a kid for a resume builder.
I do.
Not
But
for
a
the
built-in
raising of the
friend.
child.
Also for a built-in friend, there are girls that I went to high school with that had kids young. Now the girls, they can go out. I mean, they go out shopping. They look.
Would you ever? Do you still want kids? Is that a thing you want?
I do, but I don't think it's going to happen
Why?
because I'm getting old enough where the clock is really ticking, and I am so I'm have zero dating interest.
Well, I found out about the Kardashians. Someone told me that they do like a surrogate thing. I didn't even know that was a
Yeah,
thing.
no, you can do it. Yeah,
You
no.
but it's still their baby. They take
Yeah.
their
Well,
shit
I
and
gotta
they put
get
it
my
into.
eggs frozen.
You just need a ripe 17-year-old girl that dropped out of high school to then carry your baby.
Yeah,
You could have like a baby as an accessory. That'd be kind of cool for you.
yeah, but then I think about the moral aspect of like if I get too old, because I'm telling you, when I was walking here, I
Yeah.
was like, genuinely, it feels like the clock is ticking. I can hear a tick, 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 and it's
Yeah.
not about just like
You're like
fertility.
Captain Hook. You're like the clock. Like how it's the alligators always like following them.
No, I'm not. I don't remember it.
Never mind.
But that's cool that an alligator.
Guess
get
that was
it.
a little after your time. I don't know.
I know it was. I'm way too old for it. But I'm constantly going, oh my God, I don't have anyone. Like, there's nobody. I'm not going to be attracted to like anybody. Like, so I just don't really have faith that I'll find somebody. So the big thing that I worry about is being a mom too old and then like dying when my kid is really young, pretty young still.
Yeah.
Because like when I was a kid, my mom was older, quote unquote, than the other moms. She had me at 33.
Sure.
And to me, that was so old. And so I used to say, my mom had me when she was old. Because compared to some of the other moms,
Yeah.
22, 23, 24. So, and I mean, my mom died kind of young, but she died when I was 37. And so to me, that's way too early for a girl to lose her mom. And
For sure.
some girls obviously lose their mothers way earlier than that. But if I had a kid when I was like 45 and I had about maybe 20, 25 years with them I just would feel guilty. So part of me is like, I don't want to be an old mom to fuck over my kid. But at the same time, I have so much love to give. Like I could start crying.
You do. You have someone. Don't cry. Please don't fucking cry.
I could cry. And this could
Jorge,
also-
has she cried on the podcast before? You definitely have, haven't
No,
you?
she hasn't.
No, I haven't, but
I'm gonna make
I
her.
have on other episodes. Jorge's not seen them. Do you remember? Did you ever see this? You're way too young for Jerry Maguire, but did you see Jerry Maguire?
You didn't see Peter Pan, Captain Hook, and you were going to ask me if I seen Jerry Maguire?
So do you know the reference about the talk show the athletes go on and always end up crying?
No.
Oh, anyway, that's the
I'm
show.
sorry.
That's the show, except it's me always crying, not the guests.
But I do think you have a lot of love to give, Kristen. This feels like we're all, this whole podcast is just an effort to try and make you chill. This is but I do think you have a lot of love to give. I mean, I can't speak from experience, obviously, but like all my parents and people
all my parents,
and both my parents,
my 80 parents,
all of my 2 parents, but like people that have kids in my life, they do always just rave about like you should just do it. And
yeah, I regret not.
But to your point, the whole inevitability, the reason why you have kids at a biological level is to die.
Right.
You are going to die, so you have a kid that is going to perpetuate your
I don't want me
form of
gone from
existence.
this earth. You know, that's such a rip job if I ripped off this earth without my DNA.
No, I know. And you know what,
know what I mean?
You know it's even more of a ironic joke is that you're helping all of these incel guys get
like the ones who
laid and
shouldn't
have
be having
kids.
babies.
Yeah, and then you're the one that didn't have one. I think you should have a kid.
I know. Well, that's the thing.
I'll be like a surrogate father if you need one, but I don't want to be involved.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah. Well, yes, that's cool. But I have to make more money first, since you can't.
You
be
make enough.
involved.
Look at you. We're in a studio with cameers on the swivel.
I know. I think we would make a.
You're paying Jorge probably a 6-figure salary. I would only imagine.
Yes, obviously.
No, I think that'd be great for you. And then you could wear it like an accessory. You could have like a little papoose.
Oh my God! I actually used to try to do stand up about having a baby just for an accessory.
That's funny. I would like to see you in a papoose.
What's a papoose? That sounds Italian as well.
I think that's like what you put the baby in, like in a little
front thing.
Yeah, like a little front thing.
Yeah.
But how not like a harness, but more of like what like a lady on Machu Picchu would have. Like she's like climbing up the mountain with like the baby like in like sort of like
it's more
elaborate
like an
knot
animalistic
scarf.
kind of.
Not animalistic. It's just like like it feels maybe a little bit more
Organic-y.
More organic-y. It's not made in a factory. It's just like she tied a scarf.
Right.
Papoose.
Oh well,
Is that what that, wow.
that's not like a. There's ones that just.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like a lady in like Ecuador, the way she carries her kid.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the viewers.
People are gonna, all
15 of them, they're gonna.
Hey, I used to get a lot of viewers. That's what I was talking about.
That's what I'm looking for. You would look hot in that.
Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna get so many comments. Looking at this, people are gonna be like, "Kristen needs to eat."
You don't have a dog,
skinny.
do you?
I do, but my dog's upstate, and
you told me this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm such
That's good.
a mom to him. Like he is my baby.
No, I really. This is the conversation that I didn't want to have. I was gonna say that I don't like. I think that's bad for mental health. That people are starting to equate their dogs.
No, it's the worst.
Bad.
Okay, so guys that I work with for the dating stuff, as an example, because I'm teaching them a bunch of stuff, but I teach them how to cheat. I teach them how to
teach them how to cheese.
Cheese. I teach them how to cheese, smile, and I teach them how to tease. And so one example that
do you say it like that?
Tease.
Tease and cheese.
No, I've never said cheese before.
Oh,
but I got cheese on the mind because I'm dying obviously of starvation. But I teach them to tease, and one of the examples I use, I haven't used it in a little while, but is when a girl calls herself a dog mom. You got to call her out on that shit. Like I'm teaching guys to call girls out. So like if she says she's a dog mom.
You're teaching them negging.
No, it's not negging.
Oh.
No, negging is to actually be mean, like mean. This is just like a playful tease. There's a difference.
So what do you say when they say they have a dog?
You look terrible today. That's a neg.
Oh.
Teasing is different. Teasing's got lightheartedness to it.
Elaborate. You tell these gentlemen.
I call it a rickle, a Don Rickle. I rickle it. Teach them how to rickle.
Okay, but what is that? So what does that have to do with being a dog mom?
That's something that you could tease them about. So you have to have an opinion. Like if a girl just says she's a dog mom, you had an opinion on that immediately, right?
Yeah, I'm pissed off.
Right. So a lot of these guys that I work with, they're afraid to have opinions because they're not comics and they're working jobs where they have to be politically correct all the time and blah blah blah.
Well, you sure?
So a girl will say she's a dog mom and they'll be like, oh, nice. That's
Tell me
cool.
more about the dog that you mother.
Right. It's like, no, if you actually think something about that, play with it. That's your opportunity to create tension. Tension creates.
Yeah, no. And if that was my situation, I would then neg them. I would be like disgusting.
Yeah. Just talk about like how, is she breastfeeding?
Well, I
the
saw,
dog.
as a matter of fact, before when you texted me to do this podcast today, very short notice, I would have prepared more. See, nagging. And there was a lady in the park with a lizard, and that really upset me.
That's really obnoxious.
Now, do you think?
See, like I'm not weird like that. That's what I don't like.
No,
when
I know
people
you're
are,
not a lizard
crazy.
woman.
It's like, yeah.
I would not be here if you were a lizard woman. I don't
Yeah.
associate with lizard people of any kind. However, do you think that person, is in some need of some sort of mental health? I think if you have a lizard, is that a red flag?
I think so.
She could be really content with that lizard.
I mean, people can like different things, but you're going to walk around in public with a lizard.
No,
You're walking around with a kick me sign on your back in a way. It's like
She was an older woman. I could tell she's weird. You're a weird person if you have a lizard. No offense if you have a lizard, Jorge. but what's it called? It's
it's weird enough if they're home.
I
If the
don't-
lizard is home,
yeah.
let
I don't
alone
think you
out
take
in
it out.
public.
You
No.
don't take out lizards.
No,
man.
no.
And she had anytime a person would walk by with a dog, a lot of dog moms, she would come up to them and be like, "Hey, my lizard's over there." Just
And
letting
he
you know,
wants to
like
eat your
don't,
dog.
don't go by the lizard.
How large was this lizard?
It's like a small iguana. The dog would. I think she was more worried that the dog would kill the lizard.
I can't. I'm such a child. Like I want to make this a sexual joke.
No, don't do that.
It's so cheesy. Speaking of cheese.
And then in the village all the time, I see people walking their dogs and they let the dog walk them.
Yes.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah. I know.
And they go, look, he's the most, and they go, he's the most curious little guy in the village. Look at him, well, he's all curious.
That's the problem because when I got a dog, people peg you as a dog person, and I'm like, no. I just like having an animal. I'm
Yeah.
not a dog person where I want to be social every second. That's the thing. It's an invitation to talk to you every second. If you have a dog, it's like saying, come say hi to me. But it's like, no. I just want to have a dog. I don't want to have a conversation. That's why I got the dog, so I don't have to talk.
No, I think dogs, especially in New York City, is negatively affecting people's mental health because I think it's creating a relationship that is inevitably going to end horribly. You're going to have to kill the dog at some point in a short time.
Yeah. Well,
And it's forcing them to be, not forcing them, but it's allowing them to have like almost like a blanket of like, no, I don't need to find anybody and socialize.
Right.
I can just be with my little animal that, by the way, no matter how horrible of a person you are, no matter how terrible decisions you make, will always love you no matter what, which is the amazing thing about a dog, but also an enabling thing of a dog. It's like my grandmother. Like I could kill a man
yeah.
with a knife in close quarters, and my grandma would be like, "Oh, he was a bad guy. Like, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And he could be totally innocent. She'd be like, "He deserved it."
Right.
That's what a dog is for most people.
That's fine.
And the same way I can't like take my grandma's advice on everything I do because she loves me, God bless her. But like the same way you can't just have your dog be your only compass of what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
And people do that in this town.
They do it. I'm self-aware enough to know that this is sad. That
Yeah.
like my dog is my baby. That's sad. I think about that. I'm like, this is so pathetic. I'm one of these.
No,
people.
you need a baby. I'm
But
going to be a surrogate father for you, and I don't want to be involved in the kid's life.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but
It's so flattering.
and they would be
So nice
It
of
would be
you.
pretty kids. We would have
We would
really
have
pretty
attractive
kids.
children.
I don't even want to see them ever though. I don't want to see them for the rest of. We would stop being friends. We couldn't do this podcast anymore. But I would be
You'd
happy.
come around. No, you'd come
You
around
think
because
so?
you'd see how cute they are,
Yeah.
and you'd see, oh my God, look how amazing she is.
Yeah. Well, you would be wearing your papoose, and that would be that would be cool.
Yeah, I think you.
It's cool to have kids.
You're young enough that that it's scary, but you're old enough where I think your heart would bend a little bit.
No, I definitely want kids. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is me convincing you to have children. with
I'm
me.
the one who brought it up. You're the
is.
one being like,
I
I
didn't
could
bring it
never
up,
because
right.
I will die. It's like everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
And you never know. People have kids, right? When they're fucking 25, the perfect age, and then they get hit by a bus, and then their kid grows up alone. So, like, I don't think you can live your life with the, oh, what if I die then?
But I'm also giving myself too much credit because if I'm worried about dying too soon for my daughter, I'm assuming she's going to really love me. She could hate me. I could be the worst mom ever.
No,
I'm giving myself too much credit.
You know
she
what?
wants me around.
You
No, she
could
doesn't.
die right before the age where she gets all like tweeny and hormonal and be like, I hate you, mom. Like that's when you can go out.
Right.
That's like a Kurt Cobain way of being a mom. You're just like, that's well now
Yeah.
go out in the high note.
Yep. I'll always look good. Well, unless she stays in that stage. I couldn't produce somebody like that though.
And that's when I would come back in the picture. That'd be a good plot for a movie. You get hit by a bus.
Period. That's it. That'd be a good plot for life. Not even a movie.
Kristen chills, and then you finally learn how to chill. You get hit by a bus, have a daughter, and then I step back in, and then I have to be a single father doing comedy.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
And I have a papoose. Now the papoose stream is me.
You have 2 poo-pooses. I had to be a child. and
Papoosai.
Make a penis joke. That's what I'm worried about, though. The minute
You're worried about everything.
No, I know. I'm so worried that the minute things start going well, that I will either get hit by a bus or something super tragic will happen. Like, I don't want things to go well in a way. Because it's like, no. Then that means something horrific will happen.
Are you in therapy right now?
No, I was up until really recently, but
like when you say things like that, like what do they say?
I don't really. I'll say that. I don't really say that.
Okay.
I'm much more. I cry. Like I'll make them laugh sometimes. Like it is a good place to try out bits.
Okay.
But generally, as of late, I take it more seriously. Like with the lady who was into energy, she thought I was like the funniest person ever.
Okay.
And
You are very
I
funny.
want to get back to that, by the way.
To the energy lady?
Yeah.
In what sense?
2 things I want to get back to. So the energy thing. So she said you might be putting out the wrong energy, and people are feeling that because you can feel people's energy fields.
But what is that energy that you're putting out?
A negative energy people can feel. So like when you walk into a room and you feel a vibe, it's just energy we're feeling.
Sure.
So she brought in this. So she made me woo woo. This is not. I blame her.
You wooed.
She woo wooed me.
Shit, you be woo wooing, girl?
Yeah. Now I'm passing the woo on to other people. It's like a STD. So
Man.
it's embarrassing.
I believe in that stuff. I mean, I think there's truth in it. I don't think some random white woman understands all of it, though.
Well, she was very old and she was very wise.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't matter. But she brought in. She said, "Do you mind if I bring some things into our next session?" And I was like, "No," to demonstrate energy. And so she brought in a crystal pendulum. And she brought in 2 wire hangers. That was for the abortion.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
So this.
You aborted my child? Damn.
Yeah. I would never.
No, of
I
course
couldn't.
not.
I
It'd be hot. It'd be a hot kid.
that is the thing too. I want to see what I'd look like as another human.
I'm sure they have some sort of AI app that you can do that now.
No. Like
It's like you can. It'd be your face and my face together, and then they're also an astronaut. You can put that into like.
yeah, you could.
You
of
could
course,
put
but
that
I'd run
in the
really
Snapchat
well.
AI, and it would do it.
I wonder how close. You know what they should do that as an experiment? Put in 2 people's faces that are going to have children.
They for sure
Create
have
the
that.
adult AI, and then wait 20 years and see if it turned into what AI predicted.
I'm sure they. I'm
If
sure
I've
there's
done that.
that's in place.
Oh, I'm not a genius, and I'm not the only one who just came up with that. Anyway, all right. So the energy thing. So this crystal pendulum. That's the only thing.
Goodness, way.
So the crystal pendulum thing, that was kind of crazy, and I to this day am still in awe of it. But we have chakras.
All right.
So, and I know it, but I'm not an astrology girl. I'm
not Scientology, Kristen.
No, but we have portals of energy, basically where it's pouring out of us. So she held the crystal pendulum over my chakras. You have like 7, that like official or something.
Yes.
There's one on the top of your head. There's I think your forehead is your 3rd eye. Your
Yeah.
throat chakra, then
Throat
like your
chakra.
heart, then your like your
Yep.
stomach, sacral, whatever. And then your palms too a little bit. But you hold this crystal pendulum, it will I swear to God, it moves. It starts spinning based on the energy that's coming out of you. You can hold it over a wooden table and it won't move. You can tell yourself it's a person. I'm holding this over a person because your fingers do have something to do with the vibration. It's crazy. I'm going to show you. No, I'm going to show you.
I don't want to. I don't want to see your paganism, witchcraft.
I'm not pagan. I'm
No, that's listen. I'm reading the
I'm a
Bible
good
right
Catholic
now,
girl.
and that's not. I'm reading the Bible
I'm a
now, and
Catholic
you're going to hell.
mystic.
That's sorry.
I'm a Catholic mystic. I'm not.
Catholic mystic.
Yeah, that's what I'll get away with. But it's crazy though because it does change. Like your energy changes, so you can actually physically see the thing swirling, and it doesn't swirl around inanimate objects. Or if I put it over my like thigh, it doesn't swing over your thigh because there's no chakra there. It's crazy. It's crazy, yo. But I sound dumb talking about it because it's like politics. Like I don't know enough about it.
No, I know. Well, that's the whole. It's a smoke and mirror thing. I don't necessarily not believe that, but it's like also. I don't know, man.
Well, when she told me that,
I just don't.
shifted my energy. I started feeling pretending I was happier or exuding happiness. Obviously, if someone looks happy,
Yeah, but
you're gonna
don't you
attract
feel
more
like
people.
that's just so like I think that's all sort of a placebo to get you into the right mindset.
I think you're too Italian for this conversation.
No, I'm not.
And I'm Italian.
No, listen.
But I'm not white enough for this
You're
conversation.
talking over me, you fucking broad. No, I'm just no.
I love it.
It's a placebo, right? Because I think the energy part that you're talking about, I think that's totally true. I think you need to talk, like, just the way you talk to yourself, the way you take care of yourself, what you eat. I don't know about defining it as a chakra or a field or whatever, but like you're emitting a different sort of frequency when you're doing those things
That's exactly.
for you.
So see,
right?
you're saying exactly what I'm saying. You're just kind of putting
but I'm saying what
a
exactly.
qualifier on it, being like, I'm normal. I'm normal too.
No.
We're saying the same thing.
No, I'm saying I say I agree with you on that part. What I don't agree with you on is that you need some sort of sage mystic to give you the talisman.
No, you don't.
That the ruby quartz that is
No.
gonna. But you just said it spins and it does the thing and it.
Well, no, there's people that say they can balance your chakras. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm saying that she just showed me that you could test your chrakras. She didn't do any sort of
You know
healing
what?
work
I
on
actually,
me.
now that you say that, I actually remember that lady. I seen her. She was in the park with a lizard earlier. She was walking around.
Did you? It was me. We can admit it.
No, I think that's cool. But my problem is, and it's a problem that I have with therapy, I think as well, is that people look at that, they go, "Oh, I'm going to go out and buy a rose quartz." You know, what? I keep saying quartz. There's got to be a different stone.
Amethyst.
An amethyst. They go and get an amethyst, and then they go to therapy, and they're like, "I'm healed. I'm a better person now because I have a stone that makes me better at talking to people, and then I'm also going to therapy." And it's like that's not necessarily a fix. Like I think when you go to therapy because you're going to work, it's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to like, oh, I'm going to talk out these problems, and it's going to be hard. Not just, oh, I'm going to go there and just be like, yeah, life is fucking hard, right?
Well,
Tough.
that's the thing is it gets so repetitive in
Yeah,
therapy.
like when are you done?
You're just ruminating on your problems. So I'm very old school. So part of me is so anti therapy and all of that stuff.
No, therapy's Tony Soprano did it. That makes it cool.
I know, but I didn't really like The Sopranos.
Wow.
My best friend John's gonna kill me. Because all right, this is one thing I have to say about The Sopranos.
Okay.
I've watched a couple episodes.
Oh, you only seen a couple. You haven't
I've
even
only
seen
seen
the
a
whole
couple
thing?
episodes. I come from an Italian background, partially. My dad's side, even though my last name's Carney.
Kristen
Don't worry about
Carney,
it.
yeah,
Don't worry.
Carney.
I know it makes total sense.
Carney.
The
The
Italian,
circus, Carney.
it's so unfair. So my grandma is Sicilian.
Yeah.
Her mother came from Sicily with my
I
great
got
grandfather.
it. You're Italian on your mother's side.
I'm like, no, my dad's mother's side. So I'm only 25% Italian, but I
Okay.
didn't know any of the Irish family, the Carney people. I've never
Yeah.
met, except my dad's two brothers, their kids. I don't know any other Carneys. So I'm much more Italian cultured based on,
Okay. And
Who
why
I
don't
was
you like The
around.
Sopranos?
because
Because he goes to therapy?
they look like caricatures. Not all of them, but a lot of the characters look like caricatures of Italian guys. Whereas
That's a
the
fair criticism.
Godfather, they nailed it. It was authentic. Whoever did the costuming in Sopranos ruined it for people with a very distinct, decisive eye. I'm very much into the nuance of aesthetics, and they just didn't nail it.
The nuance of aesthetics, Jorge.
I have big phrases. So I could never get over the like, oh, I'm really in like a tracksuit. It's like, okay, I know we know people wear tracksuits, but let it be more of a like a real
Subtle?
worn, yeah. Like
I think you got to
it
give it a
was
better
too-
chance.
No,
And
I couldn't get over it.
I think because I was just going to say that, like, yes, they're a little bit caricature-y,
it's cartoony.
but they are. But I know people that are cartoony like that.
And Tony would never go to therapy.
We've both
A
been to
real
Governor's
Tony.
Comedy Club. That's
Yeah.
There's some people that go to that club, patrons to that club.
Yeah, no, they're caricatures of themselves. That's the thing. Like, the person doing the costumes should have been able to be smart enough to look past what's cartoony and what's authentic. And people, yes, they dress like that, but it's not always so on the nose.
Yeah, there's actually a famous story about the I don't know about famous, but about the first episode of that show where Tony Soprano at the end is at the barbecue and he's wearing shorts and he's like flipping burgers. Somebody
Yeah, like he would never do that.
Well, somebody in the mafia, like the consultant that they had,
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, a Don would never wear shorts."
Exactly.
You know?
That's the thing.
And they fixed it.
They didn't fix enough, and the mafia guy did not do his job completely. But also, I'm really on whatever my dad. I get my
Does your dad not like The Sopranos either?
No, my dad is. He's obsessed with The Godfather, and he loves Italian. You know, he
Godfather
loves like
rips.
Casino and like like everything, like all of the Italian movies. But Sopranos, he couldn't do, and so I think I'm biased also because my dad was like, no, like it's not right. And
Yeah.
So I never got into The Sopranos, but I really genuinely believe
I would
would
give it
not
a
have gone to
second
therapy.
chance. It's pretty solid. You don't think he'd go to therapy? That's the whole thing. Is he has to go.
know.
There's ducks in my fucking yard, and I can't get away.
Yeah.
And my dick falls off, and whatever he says.
Yeah. I met the therapy lady, whatever her name is, that actress.
Garofalo or something?
I don't know.
Janine Garofalo?
No, that's a comedian.
You're right. You're right.
You should know that.
Who
But
am
you
I
are
thinking
young,
of?
so maybe you don't.
No, I know who it is.
So the other thing that I wanted to ask you that I said I wanted to get back into, so the energy thing, and then
Magic.
you being a bad person.
Bad,
How much do you think of
good
that?
guy. Right now, I'm a good guy, bad boy. Used to be bad guy, bad boy.
Yeah, right. How much of
Trademarked.
How much of you? No. How much do you think that it's attributed to not drinking anymore?
A lot.
90%.
Yeah, well, again, like I said, I think it's a matter of the person that you're defined by is who the company you keep and the decisions that you make. And I think not having a blurred line onto what is a good decision, what is a bad decision in my moral compass, and alcohol would blur that line literally.
Yeah.
It's made it a lot easier. Don't get me wrong, I still make mistakes and I still do stupid shit sometimes, but it's like,
Well, yeah. I mean, you're a total flake.
yeah, total flake. We've talked about. I'm here.
Like if our kid had,
here,
if our, you are.
I'm here on the
You
podcast.
are.
Came here.
I was impressed.
Yeah, you were
But
like,
if
what
I
do you-
asked you a week ago, you wouldn't
totally
have
would
been
have flaked.
here. Yes.
No,
you have
no.
to get you in the moment.
Yeah, well, that has nothing to do with me being a bad person. That has to do with me being a man that's just free.
But
and,
don't you think
and
that's thoughtless toward another person? So
man.
that could be bad.
Is this why you brought me? Is to really, is
This
to
whole
make
thing
me
was
feel
so I
like
could
shit?
confront you.
No,
We were supposed to go watch jazz.
I
or
still
listen
want to do
jazz.
that.
I want to go so bad, and like
Maybe you and our kid could go watch jazz.
he's gonna be a bass player.
That's cool.
The stand.
He definitely has to play an instrument.
Yeah. So what you have about you, I still want to
I'm
get back to the jazz thing. But
I'm a Sagittarius. All right. So if we're gonna use crystals and horoscopes,
I'm not into astrology.
I am, and I think
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm into it. I've dated enough women that have convinced me that astrology is a thing because I always feel like I'm more compatible with certain people born in a certain month.
Well, it is weird when I read a description of somebody, and it's not. This is not confirmation bias seeking, but I've read descriptions of people. They're exactly what their sign is.
For sure. I think I'm
It's weird.
my sign is like, fancy free, no commitment.
What are you, Sagittarius?
Sagittarius.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what they're supposed to be like.
Yeah, I just
And
told
what
you.
Month is.
They're like very they're not tied down very easily. They're very like afraid of commitment in a good way and a bad way. They're like always down for new things and exploration, but also that they're if they're had to be bound to a thing, they're a little bit apprehensive towards it.
Yeah.
Hence, us hanging out. But
Us not making
but
it
this
to a
was
jazz
this
club.
was a better thing though because it was like an hour before on a whim. I'm like, hey, I'm in for it.
Right.
You got to
You
get
live
me
in
when
the area?
you got to get me when I'm around, man.
I know. But this wasn't planned. I wasn't like, oh, Luca will say yes if I ask him last minute.
No, of course not.
It was more like my guest canceled and I needed another one.
Anytime. I
So thanks
enjoy
for
this.
coming. No, I'm glad you came. It's
But-
fun.
Energy field. What were you going to ask me?
So
Why am I a bad guy?
the alcohol. So
Yes.
most of it's gone away.
Yeah.
Do you think in 5 years when you're a little bit older, a little bit more mature, you could start drinking again? Because if we have a kid, I'm going to want to have drinks with you.
Okay.
So are you going to be able to handle?
I told you I'm not going to be around
30 and
until you get hit by
34?
a bus. Then I'll be involved in the child's
Don't make me
life.
feel bad. Don't make me feel sad.
All right.
Because I already know this.
Cry.
This is like what I literally will.
I'm a good guy. Fucking cry on camera for me.
Cry,
right now.
Cry, bitch.
No, what are you asking me? What am I not drinking? Will I have a drink
At
eventually
30
down the line?
Yeah, when you get older, you can make better decisions. Do you think you could go back to
I'm not
drinking?
opposed to it. I mean, it's just like I have no reason right now to go back. My life has done nothing but improve since not drinking.
I know. It's
That's
always
the
sad.
thing.
It's always sad when someone gets sober. And I
Yeah.
know Mark Norman does like a bit on this, but I've always thought this. It's like you lose a friend. It's like
No, I don't.
you do. You can't have some.
See, I have people in my life that I know that are sober that are sort of squares. I don't think I'm a
Right.
square. I think
You're
I
not
can
a square.
still exist. I think the best version of me is sober me, whereas I don't think that's the case for a lot of people. A
Yeah.
lot of alcoholics, the best version of them is when they are drunk. But I think I'm the complete opposite. I personally feel, and that's sad, by the way. If you go to like an AA meeting, like you're like, I know if this guy has a couple of beers, this guy would be a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm not that. You give me a couple
we've
beers,
hung out when I've been drunk, and you seem
I'm
not
just
like you're keeping up, but you seem you're loose enough for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I have especially doing comedy, I have no trouble existing in a bar or in a situation where occasionally it'll get to me. I'm not going to lie and say that it wouldn't. But like if I have, let's say when I get drunk, I get quiet.
Oh.
I get reserved. If I'm really fucked
Interesting.
up, I'm sort of like, this is me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
more of like you're becoming the fly on
Fucking
the
yeah,
wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking yeah.
can see
It's
that.
like, and then like whatever sort of friendship that you and I have built over the past 6-7 months, you know,
Yeah, you fuck it up.
I could probably just fuck that up in
Yeah,
like
but
a
you can
in
do
a
that sober.
I could do that sober, but why would I?
You already have.
No,
Not showing up for jazz.
not showing up for. Oh
kidding,
my
I'm kidding.
God,
Jorge, have you heard of the Birdland Theater?
Or he's
I don't think I have now.
Okay. It's a jazz theater, and this guy, Vince Giordano. So,
But you didn't
he's
even
the
go,
best.
right? You were
No,
like waiting out
because-
in front.
no, I hadn't heard from you, so I was like, and I
You
looked
make it.
and
You're
there were no-
making the viewers. You're making the 17 incel viewers that are listening to this podcast.
Insult me
you're-
one more time,
you're
and I'm
ma-
actually gonna have confidence. Finally, I just need to be
I
insulted.
know. I
into
like
confidence.
riling you up.
Yeah.
You're making it sound like you were waiting there with the playbill outside of the theater, and whatever. Johnny Slims, the bass player, walked by and was like, "Hey."
No,
yeah,
but when you're older, you'll be
whatever
like,
guy let-
oh, when I make plans with somebody, they like, oh, you'll understand. When
No,
you're 20,
I understand now.
29.
Life happens, and sometimes people can't make it. And if you take that personally,
no, but you got to tell the person. Just tell the
that's
person.
fair. You did tell me. You've told me
No, you
18 times.
No, you have to tell me. You have to go. I'm not going to make. Running over to Governor's tonight.
No, I know.
So this is so.
I was wrong. I agree.
Yeah, I don't care. Honestly,
You
it's
care.
fine.
You care, Kristen? 'Cause
No,
you keep bringing it
well,
up.
what I was going to say is,
You're gonna make me cry.
yeah, I wish I could make somebody cry. You have no idea. I
You
want
could
to
probably make me cry.
I want to make someone cry because like I always feel the feelings, and it's like not feelings as in like romantic feelings. I just always feel feelings, and it feels like, feel. It feels like I would say feel. People are like, you don't feel.
You
Anyway,
feel a lot.
Your feelings aren't real.
You're emotional.
I feel things very deeply, and I don't feel like other people do, and so I feel like I'm on an island, the only person like feeling like a human being, like, and I know I'm not, but I just like to see like when other people cry. I don't like that they're crying because I don't want them to be sad. But even if they cry like tears of joy, I like to see that because it tells me
Man.
that they have feelings and that part of the human experience is feeling, and so if you're blocking everything off,
Yes.
you're not fully living.
Yeah, you're a creative person. I think that's yes, I agree that I don't think my friend has like a poster in his apartment that says more alive than others, and it applies to like artistic people, that like you're more alive than others because you're tapping into your emotions more frequently and expressing them. So yeah, I do believe that, but the beautiful thing about creating something is that when you instead of like a serial killer wanting other people to cry randomly,
Yeah,
you can
that's
you
not
you can talk, you can like comedy specifically or a song or something, you can write a song or a joke about an emotion or an experience that you had, and if everybody in the audience laughs, then it makes you feel like you're not totally alone in this world, and that their laughter or their sharing of the music
Well,
is
yeah, that's right.
agreement. They're going, oh, this is like I like this because it's relatable.
Yeah,
And then as the person like you and me that is really in touch with feeling and acknowledging our feelings, we don't feel so alone. Instead of going, I want you to cry.
Yeah, no, I don't want people to cry. It's like when I'm in church on Christmas Eve, we go for midnight mass.
Yeah.
And
You cry?
there's a guy there, he's a lawyer, and this is in the middle of upstate New York. Like nobody there, is doing anything really.
Yeah.
So he sings "Oh Holy Night." I put it on my Instagram. It's the most incredible version of "Oh Holy Night." It sounds like you would have paid at least $400 to go hear this guy sing the song.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful and it's so moving. And I just have tears streaming down my face.
No, that's
because
pretty.
I'm so moved.
Yeah, I've done
But
that.
then I look around, people are sitting there stone-faced. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like if I see someone take out a tissue, I'm like, thank God.
I can understand that feeling.
A human being, I found one.
No, the reality is that, like, for most people, I think it behooves one to mask emotion, right? There's no reason why. The more you feel and are openly expressive about it, if you break it down to like I think a core survival thing, there's really no benefit to crying in public other than that makes you look weak. You know what I mean? But I agree with you. I'm one of those people that, like, if I saw Andre Bocelli in concert, cried like a baby. It's a good thing.
I can tell that about you. So you have this because I'll introduce you. I'll add in a little intro for you. But you have a thing about you that you kind of have an old soul vibe.
Yeah.
Do you know this about yourself?
I don't know if I know it about myself, but I've been told, sure.
Okay. And I'm not just saying it because you smoke a pipe.
A pipe, cigars.
Yeah. But you have almost this like spaghetti western vibe.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. That's how I've categorized you.
Spaghetti western?
Yeah, it's kind of almost like the Quentin Tarantino, like there's an edge to this older 1960s era.
I like being a little bit of a character.
Yeah, so you've got that vibe to you, which makes you feel like you have more, like you have gravitas. Like there's some like weight to you.
Cool,
thank
you.
You're not just like this, I'm a cute dude. And I think that's why for me, but I think that's why you're able to do comedy because you have that old soul, but you're also able to get away with comedy and you don't come across like a, what's his name? The Jaw comic.
Matt Rife.
Like you don't come across like a Matt Rife. Like he to me
No.
could be fast on his feet, whatever. I've never really watched his stuff too much. I've seen a little bit. But he seems very pop. You've got the weight of like a real person. Anyway.
Yeah, no, one of my
I'm just trying to get you to stick around once we have kids. That's all I'm trying to do.
I know,
right
yeah,
now.
and you're madly in love with me.
I really am.
It's unfortunately so evident to the 18 incel listeners that have now tuned in. And
Of course, Jorge doesn't show me like go like blah. I'm so not in love with blah. I didn't do that.
What?
I rolled my eyes. But no one would see that, so they'll think I'm in love.
No, you're madly in love with me.
I'm not.
It's fine.
No, I'm not.
I
don't have feelings. I don't have
You,
feelings
I don't.
of love
I
anymore.
feel more.
That's true.
Didn't she not say I feel more than anybody else is feeling or whatever?
I
Would
do,
you
She
say?
but
did say that.
You know why? It's because I have a rose quartz in my pocket, and that attracts love.
I'm into amethyst.
All right,
That's the only one I know.
that's fine. But no. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no. I like talking about things.
Right.
But
And not
one of my least favorite. Not one of my. I mean, I like obviously like people will tell me like, oh, hey, people will go like this. This I get this a lot, and it's an annoying thing to complain about. So indulge me for a moment. But people, and you've given me this compliment, not
And it annoys you?
that it annoys me, but like they'll be like, well, you're a good-looking
I
guy.
know. I know.
You're a good-looking guy. Like you could do this and do that, and I don't mind that. But I also like but I don't want to be associated with like a Matt Rife or anything
You're
like.
not.
Like I
That's
want to
what I'm
talk
saying.
about like I want to be in what I feel like is definitive of an artist. I want to be someone that expresses themselves in a way that is unique
You're
and
such an artist.
I mean but it is a goal of mine. I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
I
you
want to.
give
I
off
want
that
my
vibe.
writing and what I do on stage to be taken seriously, regardless if I'm a good-looking guy or not. You know,
Right.
but it does help.
It does. I mean, it does. I mean, it doesn't hurt you because you've got the character. If you didn't have the character, it would hurt you.
Yeah, I don't want to just go up there.
But you know
if
you're
we're
talking to somebody who's a very attractive female comedian,
beautiful
right?
woman. I'm
Right,
not
we're
gonna.
two
I'm
hot
not gonna give
comedians.
my.
I'm kidding.
I'm not gonna pass on my genetic code to some uggo.
I know. But you know, your code could be good enough that it could turn an uggo into a regular O.
Yeah, but I don't want a
Leaving
regular.
out a
I mean,
Modelo.
if we're gonna make a kid, it's better be hot,
I know.
hot and artistic
know.
and something.
I know. Imagine. So people like, this is more, I don't know, probably like where I'm from, but like, if you name your kid Bella,
Yeah.
you're putting a lot of pressure on that kid. That means beautiful. If she turns out ugly, you know how difficult you're making that kid's life.
Sure.
You can't make a son. You can't say that.
I
You
like to
can't
think
say- 'cause
beauty is
every-
on the inside, but yeah.
I know. That's what all the bullshit people will say. But it's like, no, you cannot name a child Bella in case they don't turn out to be a Bella. Because then it's just going to, every time someone says Bella, it's going to be more obvious that she's not a Bella. If we didn't say Bella at all, we wouldn't be going, she's ugly every time you say her name.
I think like Bella was my dog's name. I feel like I hear
Well, yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
dogs are named Bella
Yeah, right.
because we had
That's very
we had a
unoriginal.
fat pug,
Oh, yeah.
obese, one might say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it's a dog. So it makes sense. But that's a very cliche dog name. I'm kind of disappointed.
Very much cliche.
However, I had a Molly dog, and I think that's a cliche dog name too.
Molly.
Molly. Even though one of my really good friends is named Molly. But when I was little,
Don't love Molly
for a dog name or just a Molly in general?
in general.
Well, I'm saying it's a cliche dog name,
Yeah.
and I had it. Like, I named my dog Molly when I
Yeah.
was 12. But then
I mean, it's
my
not.
parents made me give her away. But
It's not Snoopy or nothing.
no, but it's kind of cliche. Like
Bella's for sure
Bella
cliche.
Bella and Molly are like, no, you can't. You can't. It's too cliche. Although, I will say, your mom, because
Yes.
she follows me on Instagram, or she did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told you this.
Okay.
You don't? Do you remember me telling you?
I probably do. Yeah.
So
My mom follows a lot of people. She's a mover and shaker in,
She is a
in
mover
many
and shaker.
social circles.
she has a mover and shaker.
Is this going to be on Instagram? Will she see it?
This could be on Instagram.
All right. Never mind.
If I look good enough, it will be on Instagram.
All right. Hot.
But your mom is very beautiful
Thanks.
and she's got a glam look to her. So she can get
You
away
got a
with
glam look, Ma.
She does.
Nice.
And being that, I mean, she still is a mom and I'm not, I'm still flattering. Because of that, she can name her dog Bella. It fits for your mom.
Oh, that's the point you were trying to make?
Yeah,
that
but
my
if she
mom
was,
is
like,
hot, so she
21
could name Bella?
If she was like 21 and hot, I know your mom was hot when
Bella's
she was
a good
21.
family dog name. Yeah, it is.
It's like a Paris Hilton dog name.
No, it's
But
like it's like if you are an Italian family and you live in the suburbs, you have a dog named
Yeah.
Bella, and then the dad hates the dog. What
Yeah,
the
of
fuck,
course,
this
right.
fucking dog?
Of course. I don't respect any family
Piece of shit,
where the
Bella.
dad likes the dog.
Me too. Oh yeah, I hate that when the dad's like, "Hey, come here,
Yeah.
Buster."
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I had to beg for a dog. I begged for years and years, and then finally, because my dad didn't want a dog.
No, my dad bought us the dog and immediately hated it for the rest of its
Yeah,
14-year lifespan.
Yeah. We had to get rid of
Fucking
mine.
fat bitch. That's what he'd be like. Someone should put this fat bitch down.
I can
So
see that.
horrible.
I know that's how your dad talks. It's like so
He'd go
perfect.
like this. He'd go somewhere.
But that's how my dad was before. But now that he's older,
He likes the dog.
now he likes the dog. But when I was a kid, it was like no dogs. No dogs.
Yeah, no, we've spent a lot of time in this podcast badgering mysticism and dogs, but but you know what? You believe what you want to believe in, and you love what you want to love, man.
Hey, you're saying like I'm believing in other stuff. I'm not believing in other stuff.
Yeah, you're believing in woo-woos.
No, I think we have energy, and I think
There was a Hare
the
Krishna
J
fest.
man Jesus would agree, and I'm a Catholic.
Jesus.
Yes.
I'm reading the Bible right now, and let me tell you what. I haven't gotten to the Jesus part yet, but there's some pretty stringent rules in the Bible.
Oh, it's stringent.
If you're like
That-
I'm reading, if you'll indulge me in this, I'm reading the Old Testament right now, and like,
Yeah, you got it. You can't read the Old Testament.
well, no, but you do. 'Cause
No,
you have
no,
to,
no, no.
Because if you're gonna read it,
You're
you're
gonna
gonna
scare
read
yourself to death.
it. Well, yeah, you read like there's parts where it'll be like they find a guy that's like an outsider. The Israelites are like wandering in the forest or whatever for 78 years, whatever they do. Moses is 890, and they find a guy and he's like collecting sticks on the Sabbath, which is you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath.
Right. So
And they bring him to Moses. Yeah, and then they stone him to death.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, all right, not even like a warning. He didn't even know. He didn't even know the rules.
Right.
They had just made the rules.
Right.
They made the rules over there. He wasn't
He
there.
didn't know. Right. There's no cell phones.
So
back
then
then.
they
I don't know if you know
stoned
that,
him.
but there's no cell phones back then.
And then they're like, oh, like they like come across a town on their way, and then they're like, oh, like go take over the town.
Yeah.
Like go, take over on our way, like get resources. So they pillage this town, the Israelites, and then they go, look, we have all this. They bring all like the women and children to Moses, and he's like, why don't you kill these bitches? He's like, no, don't kill them.
Yeah.
This is a little starting to get a little Tim Dillon here, but I do feel like, you read it and you're like, geez, Louise, Moses, let them hang on for a little bit.
Right. That's why I can't look at those old ones because then I'm like, well, I really.
But it's interesting to see that like a lot of that early Testament, a lot of it is just about rules of survival, but they're making it a definitive thing of God. Like the reason, like it's like, circumcision, and it's so like harped upon, and like not eating pig or not eating a dead carcass. It's like, because all that stuff is going to get you sick. Or like if someone has leprosy, you're supposed to put them out of the village for a while. And if he still has it, you got to stone him to death.
That's why you live in the village.
In the village?
Because you have leprosy. Put them out in the village.
Yeah.
You're a leper.
I am a leper. I'm a leper mentally. Nobody gets me.
No, I get you.
You do get me, and that scares me more than anything.
No, I totally see you. That's the thing. Is like I see you.
I see you too.
Oh.
We've been seen.
We've been seen. I'm not trying to cut you off from talking about the Old Testament.
No, I don't. Please do. I don't want this. And then our Lord Savior came down.
You know what's actually something interesting that I learned recently, and I told my sister, and she was like, "Oh my God." You know how they say Lamb of God?
Yeah.
And they'll like say like the blood of the lamb.
Yeah.
So lamb's blood actually is an anti-venom.
Oh yeah.
And so
God loves lamb in the Old Testament. He's all about lamb.
Right. But
he's halal as shit.
But it's crazy that lamb's blood actually cures poison. And they knew that all the way back. I don't know if they knew that back then.
Yeah, but they like somehow put it together that that's important.
Like, I mean, the chances of.
No, they love lamb.
Yeah.
They're killing a lot of lambs in the Old Testament.
They are. All right. Speaking of lamb, so okay, I know we're way over time.
Yeah. Are we getting? We paying Jose overtime? Jorge? Sorry. Sorry, Jorge.
I don't want to say I've never done that, but I've definitely.
Fuck! God damn it!
So I always want. So this
just a couple of racists doing a podcast.
I know.
Son of a bitch. That's yeah. I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah. I've been called names already, so it's fine.
Sorry, people call me Lucas all the time, or they go Luka Doncic. I hate that.
People aren't ready for a Luca. It's too ethnic.
They're ready. They just made the Disney movie about the gay Little Mermaid guy. He's a gay.
Is his name Luca? What does it have to do with anything?
Look, gay mermaid Luca.
Oh, his name is Luca.
The movie's called Luca.
Like we're not ready for a human Luca. We can handle a mermaid Luca.
Yeah. I didn't really appreciate them.
Yeah.
See, doesn't it kind of look like me?
Oh, I saw part of that. Yeah, they turn into fish when they're in the water, and then
something like that.
They want like a
they like tease that they might be homosexual, but they're actually just buddies.
Are they really?
Yeah, like Disney. People were upset because they like teased in the trailer that they might be homos.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I get it.
But then but it was just like it was just like a wholesome tale,
right?
And people got upset about that. They got upset that they got faked out.
Right. They wanted it to be true.
Yeah.
For there to actually be the.
But you know what, man? If the little sea monster wants to be gay, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want, Luca.
You do what you want. I mean, you're a merman, so you're just kind of gay anyway.
Right. You're a sea
so
creature.
There's no choice.
I think all sea creatures inherently are gay.
Yeah. So, all right. So, this whole podcast have kind of been talking about etiquette stuff, but I always like to do an etiquette thing at the end where we discuss the like rules of like if you're in this situation, what's the appropriate behavior.
Okay.
So like when
like a flash round of sorts.
Kind of. Well, no. So I like to go in depth, but we don't have time to go super in depth.
How much time do we have?
Jorge.
You got time. It's fine.
Okay.
Nice.
So like I think like when Dan Natterman was on, we talked all about like what you say when someone knocks on the door of a public restroom, like and you're in there.
Yeah.
Like, what's do you say like someone's in here or I'm in here or like he knocks back? Like I'm always uncomfortable because they don't know who you are. So like I'm in here. It's like, well, who are you? No. Anyway, so that's what
I go like this. I go, oh. That's what I do.
That's good.
They knock on the door. I go, oh.
That's good. That's good. People will be like, "I'm in here," and it sounds really attitude.
No. I think you just need to make it known that there's a presence. Oh,
Yeah. I always say like, "I'll be on it." Well, no, I don't.
and I'm afraid someone's gonna come in there, and maybe attack me, potentially rape me. So I try and make myself sound tough. Oh, that's a noise of a man.
You know how I shouldn't say this. It is a noise of a man.
Oh.
That's the rape noise for a man.
That's like that. You go, man.
Yeah. That's funny. That's good. I'm trying to not say what I want to say about rape right now.
All right, please
because I don't want to get in trouble.
Don't bring that up. Not for the incels.
I won't. So etiquette, rape or no? I'm just kidding. That's not that. Etiquette.
Rape, no good.
When you rape somebody, what's the proper etiquette? Do you say
all right.
good?
My glam mom is gonna listen to this, and you're not. You know, you've already upset her.
All right. There's a lot to choose from. So, what's the etiquette when it comes to a yawn, and you're talking to somebody, say like me, or someone you know, but like maybe don't fully know?
Cover your mouth for sure.
People will do the closed mouth yawn, and then their nostrils, Jorge's shaking his head, then their nostrils go really wide, they turn into like a rhino for a second, and they think they're getting away with looking like they're not yawning, but you know they yawned. So is it better to flat out just yawn, like open your mouth and then say like, excuse me, or keep the mouth shut and flare the nostrils?
Well, what about the yawn upsets you? Does it upset you that they're tired?
I'm not saying I'm upset. It's more like,
you sound upset. This is the most passionate you've been this entire podcast.
Well, no, I told you I like to talk about etiquette.
Okay, but
I mean, I've been in positions where
I don't care if somebody yawns. People are tired. And I don't take it as a personal offense that I'm boring them. So I think if they close mouth yawn or they cover their mouth, I really don't care. Just as long as they're not their mouth and their germs are in my area.
Okay.
Like this, like I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to see someone's throat.
See, this is the stuff that I overthink about. You don't think about that. Like that's just black and white.
Yeah,
for me, I'm going, if I'm in the situation, I'm talking to the person. I don't want them to think they're bored. But then
that's crazy. That's a crazy person.
But that's what I think.
Are they yawning so they're bored? No, I don't give a fuck. You know what?
Yeah, I don't want them to think I think they're uninteresting.
No, I don't like. If someone open mouth yawns just in general, and they have nothing to like, if I'm at an airport and the guy next to me open mouth yawns,
yeah, of course,
I'll give him one of these. I'll go, jeez.
Oh, so you don't think someone should yawn in public?
I don't think they should open their mouth. Like cover your mouth. Yeah, it's gross.
Well, you cover your mouth, but
no, but like if a guy doesn't cover their mouth, then I feel like I need to be like wow. I'll give one of those. Oh,
yeah. That's good. That gives me another thing to judge people about, because I never actually judged about the public yawn while not talking to somebody.
You could yawn all you want. Just cover your mouth. I don't care.
Yeah, I've never judged someone not covering their mouth, and I'm surprised. that I haven't. But when I'm in the conversation.
Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what drives me fucking nuts?
What? Tell me.
With a yawn is when they go do this. One of these.
Oh, the noise.
No.
Oh.
I'll crack you in your fucking head if you make that noise around me. I'll kill you.
Characters do that.
Yeah,
no one can actually.
You didn't have to make any of those noises.
No.
I'll slit your throat. I will stone you like in the Bible.
But my sister.
That's what should be in the Testament. Shouldn't be about it should be if you yawn and you make a little slap noise, they should kill you.
My sister one night slept. We were in a hotel room and she was making the most cliche noise sleeping. I never thought anyone actually did it in real life, but she was going choo.
Yeah, but that's sleeping. That's
that's like a no one does. You've heard someone do that?
No, I know, but they're not doing it like the yawn. They're doing it on purpose. You don't have to make that noise. If you snore, that sucks.
No, but isn't it? It's weird.
It sounds like a cartoon. She sounds like Sleepy the dwarf.
It would have been in a cartoon. You put a feather over her nose, and the feather would go up, and then she'd blow it away.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Or if she had a hat.
Yeah, like it felt very very movie-esque or something from an older time in a cartoon. I don't know.
I think that's cool.
That's
cool on my list.
Blew me away.
Yeah,
it blew me away.
I used to
sleep because of it.
I used to sleep with this girl that used to grind her teeth, and that scared me.
Would it make noise? It doesn't make noise.
Yeah,
to grind your teeth. Really?
Like that.
Oh God, that's horrifying.
And then I went and slept on the couch, and she woke up and she was upset with me. It's like couldn't sleep.
That's a horrifying sound.
Yeah, and it is scary. Go on. What's the next question?
All right. So the next etiquette: if a restaurant's closing in 10 minutes, and they're still serving, and you're hungry, it's pretty much like the only spot. Do you go in, order, and make the staff stay a little bit later, or do you say no, we're not going to eat here because it's closing in 10 minutes? I don't want to be a dick.
Am I in the place already?
You're at the door.
Like I'm walking by and I go, this place is open.
Well, yeah. Well, we're not in a city location. Like we're not like we can go 2 doors down and there's another place.
Because like if I'm at a bar or a restaurant and then they're going, all right, we're closing. I'm like as soon as I see people putting things away, I leave.
You're out.
I'm like they're closing. We gotta go.
Right.
But I do feel like if like the lights are on, and you go in, and you're like, can I order this? If they should be able to be like, we're closing up right now. If I get any hint of that sort of like suggestion, I'm out.
Even though technically they've got 10 minutes.
Yeah. I don't want to fucking make it work. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah. Okay, I respect you on that. All right. Okay, we'll do like 2 more. Okay, if you're getting a massage,
Okay.
have you ever gotten like professional massages?
I have dabbled.
Okay. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I probably have. If you're getting the massage and the masseuse starts talking,
Okay.
do you go along with it and talk even though you don't want to talk the whole massage? Or do you say like, or do you kind of hint with your body language, so to speak, when you're laying there like, like I'm not really into talking? Or do you say like, I just would love to just kind of be zen and quiet right now? Like, how do you tell someone to stop talking when you're in a
I've never
massage?
had that situation in a massage personally, but I mean, I guess you
If
could
were
apply
in the
it to
situation.
like, cause I'll apply it to like an Uber. Like sometimes an Uber guy will want it to. I know you have the setting, but I also think that's kind of rude
That's
if you're like, hey, don't fucking. I'm one of these people that you don't talk to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
That's I'm
You
kind
don't
of in
look
my
me
head
in the
about that.
eyes. You don't speak to me.
Yeah, but like will be like if an Uber driver starts talking to me or something, I'll be like, if I'm not in the mood to talk, I'll be pretty brief with my answers. Sometimes I'm down to gab.
You give off the vibe with the brief answers.
Yeah. But
And you're hoping they pick up on the
so in a
hints.
massage, I'd probably do this. I'd be like, yep. Oh.
But okay, so when you do just the yeah or the whoop, are you worried that they know what you're doing?
I'm not
They're
worried
onto
about that
you?
at all.
Okay.
No, they should. If they're a professional, they should be like, okay, that's not what I do. I had a recent. I had an Uber driver recently. I was going to LaGuardia like early in the morning. I had an early flight, and he. I get in the car, and he was Pakistani, and he was a really nice guy, but he was like, he was just so interested in my life, like from the get go. You know, and it was so early, and I just wanted. I was
Yeah.
barely gonna make the flight, but he was just so gracious. I got in the car, and he was like, "You're not from here, are you?" And I was like, "No," and he's like, "People in New York, they don't leave this early for a flight. They don't because he was
He's basically calling you a nerd.
he was grateful that I gave him enough time to allocate going to the airport for my flight, and he went like this. He went, "Thank you, sir." Like that, and I was like, man, that feels good.
That's great.
Yeah,
See, but that's almost on par with the yawn, where you're letting a lot of air out and you're not having the same standard.
but he's looking forward. I'm in the back.
All
That's
right.
cool,
Okay.
and it felt good. It felt like I was like, oh, I'm having an interaction with this guy. This is nice.
So did you entertain him with actual answers, or did you keep it
He
short?
like in the beginning I was pretty short, but then he charmed me. He charmed me into opening it up, which I could appreciate.
Yeah,
I like.
takes a skill.
I recently had a conversation with a guy, a flight from New York to Chicago. The whole flight we talked, which is nice. I've had that a few times in recent years, and it is a nice change. It's nice to not just be locked in. It's like, oh, like I'm sitting next to this person, and we're acknowledging that, and we're being human beings about it, as opposed to like because most people when they're on a flight, you're just pretending.
Yeah, like you're pretending
not
you've
next
never
to a
even seen this
human
person.
being.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, hey, what's going on? Why are you doing? And like,
Right.
he ended up being a nice guy, and we exchanged information.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
My dad can't get over that. He doesn't fly a lot, but when he flies, he cannot get over the fact that people don't talk to you or look you in the eye. He's like, you sit next to somebody for 4 hours, they don't. they
Yeah,
don't
or
acknowledge you.
more than that. 17 hours. People fly to China.
Right. He can't understand it. And I always.
Oh, I can understand it, but it is not. But
No,
it's
he
not.
doesn't
It's not what we're
understand it.
supposed to be.
No, we're not. I used to be afraid of flying. I'm better now, but I used to start.
Of course you are.
I know, but I'm not. I'm.
Because
I'm
what
a
if
normal,
what if the
like,
plane
I used to
crashes
know.
and it goes into the lagoon and Captain Phillips isn't there? Is Captain Phillips? No, that's who's the one that landed the plane?
Sully.
Sully.
I am the type, yes, to be nervous about flying, but I'm also not. I'm over it. Like I'm not nervous now, but I used to be. and I would talk to the person next to me through the takeoff just for my own.
Oh, you would
my
be
own.
a brutal person to sit next to on a flight, I think.
No, and then I barely.
I would
talk.
sit next to you on the
I don't
flight.
want to talk.
You talk. I would sit next to you on the
No.
flight, and then I'd be like, oh, nice, like this attractive woman is next to me. That's nice. And then you'd be like,
I'm so afraid. Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know. I just feel like
Yeah.
sometimes. You ever feel like when you're on the
Am I
flight?
wearing too
Do you
much
think my makeup? Yeah. Is it okay? And I'd be like, oh,
Oh, fuck.
Christ.
Yeah. No, but I don't do that.
Just take an Ambien.
Yeah, that's the thing is on flights, I actually do relax. Like there's something about the hum where I'm really mellow.
There's something about being on a
I
flight.
like the quiet.
Like I don't. Personally, this is something too, because I'm United. I fly United a lot, and you can have Wi-Fi now on the flight. I don't do it.
I know, I like the
being,
disconnection.
I like just all I am is on this plane, and I'm transatlantic right now.
Yeah. No, it feels really good to not connect, but do you know what I do that defeats the whole purpose? I think when I land, I'm going to have like a million surprises on my phone, like it's Christmas morning, and it's like going to be like, oh, great, I got an email to do this show, and then this person wants to go out with me, and then and I open my phone and there's nothing.
And it's Luca didn't make the jazz
yeah,
date.
yeah, and then I'm like, wow,
Wow.
that's really depressing.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I have to keep my
That's life.
standards low when I go no phone, because there's not going to be a surprise. There's not going to be a dream text that is waiting for me.
I mean, you never know. You could be optimistic on that.
Yeah, I feel like people can relate to that though. If
I
you don't
think
look
so,
at your
too.
phone for like 6 hours, you're like, oh, I earned this. Now I'm gonna have a big surprise waiting for me. But you don't. Okay, so last one, since we're talking about airplanes and stuff, do you think the window should be a group decision, whether it's up or down in the row? Because the person in the sitting at the window, I'm generally the person at the window. We're in control of whether the light's coming in, whether someone can see.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of unfair. I think it should be a group decision. There should be a talk. Everyone okay for the window down?
And dude.
Like, or does
That
anyone want to
rocks.
see the landing? Window up. I hate when the person says, "I want to see where we're landing." I've never been here before.
And you just said once again, classic Kristen Carney fashion, being like, "No, I don't talk to anybody on the plane. No, when I'm on the plane, I talk to
Well,
nobody."
that would be a very short discussion.
Meanwhile,
It'd be
you're
like
holding
just a-
court.
Yeah.
If you
It
can
would just
put the
be a
window
yay
up,
or a nay.
you
That's
paid
not a
for the fucking
conversation.
seat. You could do whatever you want. Well, if you buy a middle seat,
See, I'm too. This is where I'm such a nice person. I pay for the
yeah, you're too nice.
window
for it.
seat, and then I'm concerned
You're a
with the
nice
people next to
person
me.
people that don't just like.
It's people pleasing.
Yeah, but no, that's the way the economy of it works, right? It's like you're like, okay, I'm in the window seat. That gives me something to lean on, and I can control the window. Middle seat is the cheaper seat, so you just have to live with whatever existence God has given you at that time.
This is the
And then the
realistic answer.
aisle is like, oh, I get to go up and get
Pee whenever I
I
want.
want. That's the
Yeah, it is. That's the culture of the
that's
seat.
the dichotomy. It's
It
not.
is.
It's not like. Yeah.
It's expected. But
Really, what you
if the
should do.
culture adjusted to the group decision of the window position, I would be in favor.
No, I mean, it's like, have you ever had an exit row? Like an exit row is
Yeah.
kind of funny because it's like you guys are going to be responsible for getting out of the like we're going to need your help.
Yeah.
And then you still don't talk to those people.
Yeah.
It's like you should. That's this time it should be like, hey guys, like if the plane goes down, I'll get the door.
Right? Yeah.
You know
There's
what I mean?
right. Yeah.
That might be the only
there's no
time a
teamwork
decision
there.
is warranted.
That's a good point. I just always think about the fact that I'm like the person who cares the least about being alive, getting put next to the door to keep people alive.
Sure. Well,
Like they should look up my podcast history and be like, no, you can't sit next to the
That's funny.
to the door.
No, I think yeah, like if you're sitting in the exit row and that's your team, you should have a discussion about each other's strengths.
Agree.
I'm loud. You're a people pleaser. You can
Yeah. But the problem though with that, see, I mean, I can go down so many rabbit holes with talking about etiquette. So with that, if you have the discussion about who's going to be in charge, then that puts in people's minds the reminder we could go down. So
Yes, you could go down.
would you prefer to keep? Because most likely you won't. So if you like when people prayed, like if I saw someone before, this is when I was
Yeah.
younger, but I
I've
would
seen
pray.
that.
I would pray to myself. I wouldn't make any motions with my hands. I would not do the Father and the Son and the
Because
Holy
you think
Spirit.
everyone's going, what if we die?
Because I don't want to put into someone's mind that I'm nervous, because then that might make them nervous. But when I see people do it, I'm like, hey, now
sorry.
I'm nervous.
Sorry,
because you're
you're
praying.
I don't
Now
know.
it means I got to pray.
sorry you're reminding the general populace of the imminent death that we're all
Right.
eventually going to
We all-
experience.
right. But I just wouldn't want to experience it in a plane. Those seconds just ticking away.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone's an adult.
Yeah.
We all know we're gonna die. Everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
So it's like if you need to pray and do a little thingy before we take off, that's fine. And it's also, I mean, my brother's a pilot, my mother's a flight attendant. It's not a joking thing. Like, like there's a, there are situations in place, like those announcements they make in the beginning, like that stuff, they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
They're reminding you that, hey, like we want you to, what do they say? They go, service is our passion, but safety is our priority.
Oh my God. I have something to tell you about that after we're done with the podcast, that I have like PTSD from that moment.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But
Yes.
that is
Yes.
true.
What was the line again?
Service is our passion, safety is our priority.
Right. It just sounds like such bullshit, but
It sounds like bullshit, but there's a reason why they're like, yeah,
Obviously they
listen,
have to
watch
see.
this fucking.
Right.
They make the video. I love it now because they make the video so like whoop-de-doo, like it looked
like
safety.
music videos almost.
It's still, but the what they're saying is still important.
Yeah. I always make sure that
There's a bit somewhere there.
There is a bit somewhere, but it's like you're told you can't do airline material. But it's like, there's still material left
Who's
on
they?
the zeitgeist, the world.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do
Kristen.
whatever you want. Whenever I do fly, I make sure, like that day, I'm like, I can't like think anything bad about anybody. I can't say anything bad. I have to be a very nice person. In case I go down, I was a good person today. I didn't have a negative thought. I didn't judge anybody. I judge everybody still. But like my dad, and the reason I think about this is because my dad, Italian, grew up all they do is comment on people's appearances. That's what they do. That's their entire conversation.
Yeah.
And so when my dad would bring me to the airport, he'd go, oh, look at this guy. Look at that lady. And I'm like, Dad, you're sending me to hell. Be a good person. I'm about to fly. Can we just like keep the insults to a minimum? I'm all about insults. Right now, no. That was when I
Wow.
was afraid of flying.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. I thought it was actually like funnier. I guess it's not that funny.
It's funny.
It's not that funny.
I like it.
It's not that funny. But it's something I really like try not to do. Anyway, all right. Speaking of insults, I want to give you a lot of them right now.
Why?
I don't know, I just do.
I thought this was great. I thought this was very productive.
This was
It
fun.
started a little like, what the fuck are we talking about? And then I had to take control.
No, I was fully in control of this plane that's
No,
about to
I
crash.
think probably
into the
what's
side
going to
of a
happen
mountain.
is, I mean, if it were me, I would cut.
Jorge, were you just agreeing with him?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
All
come
right.
on. It's because I
He
got
knows
his
who
name
pays
wrong.
the money.
Yeah, it's because you pay him, and I guess I'm sorry about that, by the way, Jorge. But I think maybe the first 10, you cut it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't like to listen, so I'll send it to somebody and be like, "What part? What?"
Of
like, just
course
cut
you
it
don't
for
like
me.
to
Of course
listen.
I don't. I break out into a sweat thinking about listening or watching.
She's got a podcast she doesn't even listen to. Can you imagine? You're literally not.
I used to edit this podcast like crazy. Like if I said a word wrong, I would cut out that word. It would take me like 6 hours to edit the podcast because I didn't want to sound like I stuttered or I said, something stupid. I would cut. Now I'm not editing anything.
I mean,
I'm really not editing anything. It's
yeah.
not worth it.
Jorge was asking me about my podcast that I had before, and I don't do it anymore. And it's like, I had to do everything, and it's
a lot of
also
work.
like, and then you look back and you're like, do I really believe? I mean, I'm sure I said a million things on this podcast that I don't truly believe.
No, you said no. You were
in hindsight,
No.
but it's fun, and it's just like, but you're also like, is this what I want to put out into the ether?
right. Well, that's what I was saying about the flying. Like
What?
before I fly, I don't want to put bad things out into the ether.
Yeah, well, no, that's different. You're
Podcasts, I
doing
can
it.
do it
You're
all day
doing it
long.
because you have some sort of weird karmatic juju that you think is gonna give you your comeuppance.
No,
But I'm doing it because it's
I
like,
know
well,
I'm
I'm I'm saying into a microphone, fuck whatever I said earlier, fuck people with dogs, and then that lizard lady, and then therapy's weird, and then people are gonna
But
listen
it's
to that and
all
be
like-
like, why would he say that?
because it's all true and honest.
I don't know if it's true or not. I might just be saying it just because it might be the thing that you want to hear,
That's true, but I did want to hear
or
it,
that
so
it's
thank you.
funny.
Yeah, I did want to hear it. So thank you. You did
But
a
I
good
so I
job.
believe in nothing. I'm a nihilist, except Jesus Christ and the Bible, and that our kids would be hot. I believe in that.
I believe in that. I believe in us.
I actually tried using a free AI baby generator.
No way.
Let's see it.
Oh my god.
Wow. Well, he looks like
To be a son.
he looks like he
He's
has
cute.
he looks like he has fetal alcohol syndrome.
No, he's cute.
I don't know about that. Doesn't he look like?
And then here's a
Oh,
daughter.
he couldn't have a daughter.
Oh, no.
Wait, what?
I don't like that at all. They're not hot at all.
That is.
I would argue
that
those
is
are ugly kids.
Insulting. I wouldn't bring her in public.
What photo did
Although
you
that's
use
kind
of
of what
me?
I looked like as a baby.
There wasn't a lot of good photos of you on Google Images, so I just found one that was clean.
Man,
That is for wow. The boy's cute.
I don't know about that. His eyes are a little too close together.
Oh yeah.
He does have green eyes, though. I don't know if I
I'm
guess have green eyes.
I'm blaming both of these on you, for the record.
Why?
I have the better DNA.
No, our hair,
You
his
clearly
hair,
have the-
his hair wouldn't be that. Our hair, we have
All right, can
we
you
have
do
thick
can you
brown
do me
hair.
a favor? Can you put Luca with a different person?
No, don't do that.
'Cause I want
Don't
to
do
prove
that.
that the baby will be ugly twice.
No, yeah, it's gonna be
Whoever you
ugly because
mate
it's
with.
this
No.
this hodunk.
Yeah, it's some Chinese AI
Yeah,
generator thing.
yeah, fucking now, and you know what? Now, Jorge, now I'm pissed off because now they have my image and my data, and they're gonna use me to clone something.
No, they're not because you're too ugly.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Clearly.
and they're
Look
going.
at the kids
Yeah,
you made. Unless they just don't want white people feeling good about themselves anymore.
I think that is, yeah, they ruined my ego.
Yeah. I was not an attractive child, and my mom brought me in public, and for that, I thank her because I don't know if I would have brought me in public.
You were an ugly baby.
I mean, I had a crossed eye. Did you know that?
You may have told me. I had a stutter. Not everybody's perfect.
Yes, stutter. Don't. I don't have any sympathy for
Why?
someone who's over a stutter. No, I do. I feel bad for a stutter.
Little stuttering
actually
baby,
do.
that's
When
sad. A stuttering infant going, that's sad. You go, oh no, that poor kid he doesn't know how
Yeah,
to
at
talk
least
good.
my deformity or whatever you would call it was quiet. Like
All right,
my
then, yeah,
eye didn't make
so
any
we're gonna have
noise.
a fetal alcohol baby with a lazy eye. This is so done. We're not having kids anymore. I must find a better genetic heir.
No, you can't get better than this. But speaking of not being able to get better than this, I will end the podcast on this because you cannot get better
All
than
right.
this moment to end a podcast.
Oh, this moment of us arguing now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
Well, Kristen, I love this podcast. God bless you.
wait. Why? No. I don't like that you have the upper hand in the ending of this podcast. This is my show.
No, I know, but I'm.
You're
I'm,
leaning back like you're the boss. I'm supposed to be sitting like that. You're supposed to
You're
be
supposed
sitting
to
up.
no. You're supposed to chill. That's the whole fucking thing of the podcast, and I'm making you. I'm telling you to chill.
Yeah. It doesn't help.
All right, never mind. I was trying to do a character
Yeah.
or something.
Slip something in my drink, I'll chill. That's how you get me to chill.
No, Kristen, thank you so much for having me. My Instagram is at Luca Ferro Comedy. God bless everyone listening
that wasn't
to
the
this
only
podcast.
plug today because also your hair.
Huh? My hair doesn't have any plugs.
No, I know you have a really good hairline.
Thanks. Well,
It's almost so
not
good it looks
clearly
like
not
plugs.
defined to our child.
No, it's a terrible.
Seriously, if you're listening to this podcast, God bless you.
And
It gets better. Don't kill yourself. Don't do that.
we're gonna end on that.
All right.
Bye.
Out.
Say it again. Chill out.